Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the surface area of a cone. So to find the surface area of the cone, we will use this formula, pi r squared plus pi rl, where r is the radius of the circular part of our cone and L is the slant height. So I'm actually going to write that down. So R means radius in this situation, and L means slant height. And then pi is not a variable. Pi is equal to approximately 3.14, though not exactly because pi is actually irrational, but I will be using 3.14 as a stand-in for pi today, as this is a very good close approximation for pi. So here's the first example. They would like us to find the surface area for this cone. So there's two parts to the surface area. There's the pi r squared part, which is the surface area for the circle. And then there's the pi r L part for the area of the surface of the main part of our cone. Okay, so for this one, we know that surface area is equal to pi r squared plus pi r L. So we now need to identify what is r and what is L. So r is the radius, and keep in mind the radius is the distance from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle. So that's this distance right here, which is 7 feet. And then L is this length here, right? It's the slant height, which is 10 feet. And then for pi, because pi is approximately equal to 3.14, I'll be substituting in 3.14 as pi today. So next, I'm going to sub in my values. So I'm going to have 3.14 times r squared, so 7 squared, plus 3.14 times 7 times 10. And then I'll multiply this through. So then we have 49 times 3.14, which is 153.86. And then for the second part, we have 3.14 times 7 times 10, which is 219.8. And then if I add those two things together, I will get 373.66. Now, I will say this is an approximate area, not an exact area. And the reason for that is because we did approximate pi with 3.14 rather than using an exact value for pi. So if we want the exact answer, we would have just, instead of putting in 3.14 for pi, we would have just left pi as is. But in this example, we got a good approximation. So therefore, the surface area is 373.66 square feet. Okay, next let's do a second example where here they'd like us to find the slant height of the cone. They tell us that the surface area is 126 pi centimeters squared and that the diameter here, this whole distance, is 12 centimeters. And they would like to know, okay, what's this distance then? What's the slant height? So for this one here, what I'm going to do is I'm first going to write out the general equation that the surface area must be equal to pi r squared plus pi r L. Then I'm going to solve for L. So I'll subtract pi r squared from both sides to get that s minus pi r squared is equal to pi r L. And then I'll divide both sides by pi r. So let's do that. And if we do that, these cancel and we get that L, the slant height, is equal to S minus pi r squared over pi r. Okay, so then I'm going to sub some things in. I'll be subbing in 126 pi for S, and then for r, the radius, I'm going to be subbing in 6 centimeters, because keep in mind, this distance here all the way across is the diameter. In order to find the radius, which is only from the center to one of the edges, I'm going to divide that by 2, right? The radius is half the diameter, so it's important that we take the diameter as 12, and therefore understand that the radius must be 6, and use that. Okay. Next, I'm going to sub in what I'm going to sub in. So let's do S is 126 pi minus pi r squared. So that's going to be 6 squared pi over pi times 6 as well. So that's going to be 126 pi minus 36 pi over 6 pi. And that's going to be equal to 90 pi over 6 pi. And that is going to be equal to 15. So the final answer is going to be 15 centimeters for the slant height of the cone. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to put those down in the comment section, and we'll see you for the next one.